Well, I definitely vividly remember this little video my older sister made me make when I was younger, singing Ain't No Mountain High Enough. She like dressed me up in bandanas. One was on my head, one was as a shirt, one was as bottom. So that was like the first time that I ever was like joking around and singing. My mom was like, yeah, sing the hook again. So I was just singing it over and over and over again. And then in kindergarten, actually, I went to this little private school in Palm Beach County. And I was like maybe one of 4 black kids in like our entire grade, and that's like how it was for my entire like high school, middle school, because it was K through 12, so I'd been there since pre-K. But in kindergarten, I go into class one day, and I had a piano instructor and course instructor named Miss Montini, who is still striving today. She's still kicking.
Big shout out. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Big
she's
shout
dope.
out.
She gave me a shot. One day she heard me singing the songs that she had written for our Christmas recital, because I sit close to her, and she made me like come sit next to her on her piano bench.
Was just like hitting a wall, and then I would stop playing to listen to him, and my body would just be standing there. They'd be like, bro, you gonna do something? I'm trying to speak right now. I'm trying to think. You know, I don't know what the fuck's going on, guys. I couldn't. Obviously, played like shit the whole night.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? You played like shit, Emi, all night. Come on, brother. You gotta get in the zone. You gotta put the blinders on. You gotta focus, brother. And speaking of focusing, ladies, how you doing? It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro. You know what I'm talking about. Very excited to be here on another beautiful Sunday or Thursday at midnight if we're talking fake time. You know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, to my right-hand side, before we introduce the extremely talented guest that I have on my left-hand side, to my right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, you see him, you know what I'm saying, with the colorful shirts on again. The man's got fishes, you know what I'm saying? The man did paperwork in the morning and fishes, but he did it for us. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? And that's dedication, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, to my right-hand side, we have Emi in his house.
Hell yeah. Proud to say,
was
part of the Pfizer gang.
Pfizer gang.
He has it harder, but
there you go. You know what I'm saying? You haven't grown a tail yet, you know? All right.
And if I grow a tail, though, that's not a bad thing.
Bro, you grow a tail.
Monkeys got tails. They're hanging off of them.
Shout out Dragon Ball Z, you know what I'm saying? References, gang shit. Ladies and gentlemen, behind the scenes, you know what I'm talking about? You see the man in shorts, you know what I'm talking about? You see him on the beautiful GoPro that we have set up for this man. Make your way to the microphone. We almost say it every single time as I elongate your introduction so you can get there in time. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm talking about. Behind the scenes, we got Ignacio in the his house. What is going on, brother?
With the signature yo.
You know what I'm saying? A couple days away from the man's birthday. You know what I'm talking about? Big shout out.
He's turning 14 years old this
14
year.
years
the
old.
The whopping 1-4.
15.
The whopping 1-5.
I always set that mic too high. I'm so sorry. I set it for my height and I forget.
It's a signature.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah, this. Look,
I'm sorry.
That was such an underhanded comment.
You know what I'm talking about.
Set it to my height.
I'm sorry. That is. I'm sorry. But alas, what you gonna do? I will lower it next time. Ladies and gentlemen, to my left-hand side, I am also very excited to introduce the next guest to my left-hand side. You know what I'm talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, very few people put in as much work into their craft as the woman that I'm about to introduce. You know what I'm talking about? This woman has an iconic sense of fashion, but not only that, an iconic voice as well. You know what I'm talking about? This woman's energy on stage cannot be competed with anyone else. Ladies and gentlemen, I see this woman putting in work onto her sound, her performance, her skills on a daily basis. Ladies and gentlemen, to my left-hand side, we have Kaylan Arnold in the his house. What's going on, Kaylan? Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for dropping on by the studio. How's your Sunday going?
My Sunday is going amazing. I think that intro just boosted my serotonin, or at least doubled it or tripled it.
Bro, I'm trying. You know what I'm talking about? First of all, I appreciate the rings. You got the whole outfit on deck. You know, I feel like
Infinity Stones.
You know, I feel like, and we were just talking about Yuli the Monster. You could go bare knuckle toe to toe right now with him. You know what I'm saying? That's for real. You know. talk to me about, before we started shooting, we briefly spoke about the effects that, that COVID has had on your performance schedule, on you being able to express yourself as an artist. Not only, has it gotten in the way of you being able to put out work, or has it gotten in the way of you being able to show your work to more people? Talk to us a little bit about that.
I would say definitely has an impact. I wouldn't say that the impact is so exponential that it like halts anything or that it puts like a hiatus in anything. I would say as far as shows are concerned, it doesn't really change too much. Like I was mentioning earlier, the showcases definitely, there hasn't been as many like shows where there's multiple artists, but I've definitely had a couple opportunities to do some stuff. Like I just played the Adrienne Arsht Center.
Okay, big shout out. And
Thank
I've actually met Adrienne Arsht, beautiful woman. She actually would do a lot of Florida Grand Opera performances, because she's a, what do you call it? When you donate a lot, a philanthropist. And so, but in her like fine, but in the fine print, she'd be like, listen, I'm gonna give you a theater, but let me be in a couple productions. And mad respect, because I do the same thing, bro. If I'm donating like 150 million, bro, best believe I'm starting a couple shows.
For sure.
But talk to us. How was your experience at the Adrienne Arsht Center? That's a phenomenal, big venue.
Thank you. It was dope. We sold it out, so I think because that was the first sold out show that I've ever done in my life, it was kind of fun to like talk about it and kind of like live in it and experience it. Their artist treatment was super dope. My dressing room was probably bigger than my room at home. So
I can only imagine, yeah.
The soundcheck went really well. They just treated us really good. And it was like the second time that I've done an event for them. This time it was actually there before I did like a Martin Luther King event. And they had me play at the North Beach Band Show. And it was like a live like COVID event. But this one was like a live show. So it was super dope.
So it was this year though, the other event you were saying, yeah? Oh man, nice.
A while ago.
All right.
It was like the 5th of
Was that February?
March.
Yeah, because this year, bro, you don't even know. I don't even know. Are we in January right now? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause nowadays, bro, you never even know. Kaylan, talk to me. Where did it all begin? Where are the grassroots? Where, did you get the idea to pursue this dream as opposed to anything else?
Well, I definitely vividly remember this little video my older sister made me make when I was younger, singing Ain't No Mountain High Enough. She like dressed me up in bandanas. One was on my head, one was as a shirt, one was as bottom. So that was like the first time that I ever was like joking around and singing. My mom was like, yeah, sing the hook again. So I was just singing it over and over and over again. And then in kindergarten, actually, I went to this little private school in Palm Beach County. And I was like maybe one of 4 black kids in like our entire grade. And that's like how it was for my entire like high school, middle school, because it was K through 12. So I'd been there since pre-K. But in kindergarten, I go into class one day and I had a piano instructor and course instructor named Miss Montini, who is still striving today. She's still kicking.
Big shout out. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out.
She gave me a shot. One day she heard me singing the songs that she had written for our Christmas recital because I sit close to her and she made me like come sit next to her on her piano bench. And she just like made everyone like not sing, and I like had to be put on the spot. So I was singing, and then I ended up. She called my mom later that day and was like, "Miss Arnold, I think that we want your daughter to sing a solo at the Christmas recital." And my mom was like, "Kaylan, sing like Kaylan doesn't."
That's a young protege. That's a young protege right there.
And even my dad told me, he was like, "I was really nervous for you. I didn't even know. I thought you were gonna just cry and like break down, but then." It was dope. Like I was super nervous, but I don't think I was old enough to process what nervous truly was at that age. So I was just like out there having fun. And you can see the video still up on YouTube. You can see my little classmates just like rooting for me and stuff.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? You can possibly see it on the screen if we don't get copyright written, you know what I'm saying? Because YouTube be serious about that. You briefly mentioned, beating the nerves as, at a young age. Talk to us a little bit about that. Does that play a role right now? Do you get the jitters when you go up on stage, or you kind of not anymore?
It really just depends on the vibe. I would say number one, it depends on the demographic of people. Like if I do a show and it's all, for lack of a better word, old people or like older people, then like my swag and like the way that I approach the situation is a little bit different. So I kind of have to put more thought into that. Whereas if it's people my age, like I know they're gonna fuck with it. Doesn't matter.
Right.
So I don't really get nervous about
totally different vibe.
Yeah.
So I would say I still get nervous for sure, but I would say I don't ever get nervous until right before I'm about to come out. And then once I come out and people are like, I'm like, all right, cool. Everything is good. Then everything kind of just gets centered. And like even if I mess up, typically like I'll like make a joke out of it. So like comedian, artist. Kind of like.
There you go. There you go.
I'm just
there
kidding.
You go.
I'm not that funny.
No. But I mean, that's how you got to do it. You got to play it off. You got to play it off somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You had mentioned your parents and your dad thinking that you were gonna cry and break down, and talk to us about your your support system. What's your support system like at home? Your parents, your friends. Was it all out? Hey, we support you, go out, pursue your dreams? Or was it, hey, that's awesome, a lot of people don't make it, let's get something a little bit more secure and maybe do that as a backup? What was their response like?
So for my parents, once they saw the show in kindergarten, then they were, oh, okay, I understand, like maybe this is something that she wants to do. I wouldn't say that I always like knew that I wanted to be a singer, that I knew I would be where I'm at today, but what I can say is when it came down to it, I was playing ball. Like, that was my first thing. Like, I wanted to play ball in college. My parents were okay with that. Like, if you're playing basketball, you get a scholarship, it'll be good. So I was like, all right, then let's just play basketball. But then I started realizing that I was missing practice for rehearsals and recitals and stuff. So my coaches stopped starting me and stuff. And then, like, obviously I got really discouraged about it because now I'm in the middle. Like, now I don't even know if I have, like, my starting 5 position on the basketball team.
Right.
And I'm over here not even knowing if I'm going to be able to sing in this recital because I've missed recitals for practice and et cetera. So
Right, so you had to make a choice.
yeah, exactly. So obviously I chose being an artist, and like my coaches weren't mad at it. They were like, honestly, like you should be a singer. And like I always had people around me in high school, and I would like play my ukulele around in like the hallways and stuff. So it was just like always a thing. It's been an intrinsic part of me. Like it's never been something that I had to think about or like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. Obviously all artists go through stuff where like, oh, I suck. Like I can't write today, or like I'm having writer's block today, or that wasn't a good show. But at the end of the day, I've never really had a doubt, and I think that's why like I'm able to, and also just like giving everything to God at the same time. I'm not trying to be like corny or anything, but I definitely stay prayed up. I don't know if you've heard like that record, but I definitely incorporate prayer into everything that I do. So I wouldn't say there's been a moment where I had a doubt or like anyone around me had a doubt, because if they had a doubt, then they would just be like doubting themselves. Because once the decision has already been made, it's either you can get on the bus or you can miss the bus. So a lot of people chose to get on the bus. Even people that don't belong on the bus and that are no longer on the bus. So.
Okay, I know you're coming over here dropping bars. All right. Gosh, she's a rapper too. Okay. Okay, I like it. Choosing between the arts or sports. Very similar to Troy Bolton. Shout out High School Musical 3. You know what I'm saying? It's very real. You know what I'm saying?
That's High School Musical 1, dude. Come on.
But High School Musical 3, he made the decision. Don't try me when it comes to High School Musical trivia. Thank you.
He knows the start.
I do. How would you describe your sound?
I would say I make feel-good music. I don't like to put just like I don't like heteronormative labels on sexuality. I don't really like genres, because I feel like if an artist comes out and makes a dope pop song and then like 2 months later he wants to come out and make a dope country song or a dope rap song, it's still the same artist and the artist is still just as talented. It just depends on how much like work and kind of like what the work ethic is. So I would say that I sound like, I mean, if I could go based on what other people say and not what I say, people say that it sounds like Amy Winehouse and Lauryn Hill had a baby. Oof. Or like Missy Elliott and Lauryn Hill had a baby, or something along those lines. God. I don't know. I don't really like to talk about myself or hype myself up. I just
bro, no, those are dream couples right there. Let me tell you, because that would be a talented child. Oh, yeah. But so you're not afraid to venture into different sounds. Shout out Lil Wayne.
Absolutely
boom,
not.
I'm a rock star now.
Yeah, of course.
So you're not.
Is that what he's getting into right now?
No, he had a couple years ago. I don't know if you remember. He had his rock phase. When he was
Nas X,
when he was skating, he changed up his sound for sure as well.
Old Town Road, fucking
Smash.
slaps. Oh hell
Slaps.
yeah! What a fucking great song.
Not to get too much into
Should have
it.
won the award.
I mean, for
That's
what?
not an
I
unpopular
mean, which
opinion.
one though?
The CMT award.
Oh,
That he wasn't allowed in the
for
country
sure.
music.
So not to get too much into it, but now that you bring it up, what are your two thoughts? Given that you take so much inspiration from your religious beliefs, it seems like Lil Nas X is kind of doing something very very different, in a certain sense. So, what are your 2 cents regarding that? Do you think an artist has the freedom to be able to express themselves however they see fit?
Absolutely. I don't have a 2 cents, to be honest with you, because I couldn't sit here and be like, oh, well, what you're doing is wrong because of this, and that, because if it feels right to him, then that's it. There's no right or wrong. You know what I mean? I feel like that's something that he felt like he needed to get out and that needed to be done. So it's not really my place to be like, well, even if I did think it was a bit much, I don't know. I like the video. I think the videographer snapped. Like, coming from someone who like kind of watches what my videographer does and just like sees all the projects that he does and how he progresses and like the effects that they use, I thought that it was a phenomenal, very well put together video. And I think that everyone did that. Like everyone that came to play definitely played the way that they were supposed to.
And it served its purpose.
Proud of him.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's talking about
And
it.
everyone's
you know?
meant it, like
and
at the
it's
same
number
time.
one.
Everyone's always
everywhere.
gonna be
He did
mad.
it. He did
Everyone's
that.
always gonna be. All right, but now the real question: what do you think about the shoes?
What shoes?
His shoes, his what are they called?
Oh, I
They
heard
have-
they have like some
that
type
drop
of
of blood.
demonic shit on them. Is that
Yeah,
Well,
but
that-
they
I mean,
don't
they
look
have the-
good, dude.
I don't know. I
You
haven't
know,
even seen
I
them.
figured they were gonna be fire. Like I was
To
like,
be
you're gonna make a
honest-
statement,
Yeah.
make a fucking statement, dude.
Right.
To be honest, I kind of stay on my Dr. Dre shit, and I just wear ones with every single outfit with white socks.
Gang
so
shit.
then
Respect,
you can really go wrong.
respect.
Gang shit.
Gotta do it right.
yeah.
Who are some of your inspirations as far as like sound growing up? You know, who are some of the people that you looked up to, idolized the most as far as singers, performers, etc.?
I can't even lie. I was a Bieber fan.
Okay.
And despite where
Bieber
we're at
fever.
now,
All right.
I love Justin Bieber. I just love that he just like, it was more than just the music, it was the charisma. Same with Rihanna. I just thought that Rihanna could step into a building and like, bitches is fainting. Like, people are passing out. Like, that's just the way it is. So I would say sonically, inspired by Rihanna. Amy Winehouse is my favorite artist of all time. She will always be my favorite artist of all time, no matter how many artists come and go. Anderson .Paak almost came and took it from her, but then I was like,
What happened? What happened with Anderson .Paak?
I don't know. It's just I can't compare the two. So then once I realized that, I just realized that they're in their own little category.
They're
But
their
Amy
own-
Winehouse has influenced me to like want to play guitar and sing at the same time. So like John Mayer's in there too. Alicia Keys
Oh,
is in there.
fuck yeah, John
Anyone
Mayer.
that can go anywhere and just create music where they're at and not have to rely on anyone or like a band or anything. Not saying that a band isn't cool, because Free Nationals and Anderson .Paak is amazing and everyone that contributes is super dope. And I have a lot of like musician friends and they all deserve to get their
Hell
cake
yeah.
and eat it too, you know?
Oh yeah, most definitely,
Absolutely.
most definitely. Talk to us a little bit about your mindset when you are creating something, when you're writing, when you're trying to create something new, a new sound. What do you need in order to be in that perfect place?
Yeah, like is that something you force?
I'm not gonna cap. Like sometimes it just depends. Like if I just get into a fight with my girl, or someone just tries me or something, then that's easy. I'm gonna go to the studio, write a hit, like probably 15, 20 minutes. But if it's something where it's like, damn, I've been procrastinating, I should probably get back in the studio and finish these demos that these producers have sent me to write to by this date, then it's just like, all right, now I'm just doing this because I have to do it. So it becomes a little bit harder. So whenever I have a little bit of time to myself when I'm feeling creative, I try to like dedicate time to that. So it just depends. I would say in the first situation, it flows easy. And then in the second situation, verses are pretty easy for me just because they're more personalized and there's like your own little sazon on it. But hooks, I feel like are so important. And that's why I always write hook first. Because if I can get my thesis out or whatever the motif is in like whatever the string of songs is, then it makes it easy for me. Like, oh, also I have this to say about what I was just talking about. So verses are more like reiteration, whereas hooks is just like that. I would say that's the hardest part. And I wouldn't say it's hard, but some days it's hard, some days it's easy. Sometimes I don't really even want to be an artist. Sometimes I just want to be a human and like kick it, or, like want to take up like another
Right.
hobby or something. But honestly,
little badminton or something.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. I'm pretty good
Hell
at
yeah.
badminton.
Hey,
We should
hell
play
yeah,
one
bro.
day.
We'll play some badminton,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's the one with
But
the little flying thing, right?
Yeah. Put some respect on
But
badminton,
honestly,
I
bro.
don't know
like-
the name of the fucking ball, dude.
Honestly, I went to school in New Orleans. I was at Loyola New Orleans, and I was studying music industry business.
Gang shit.
So.
Shout out New
Hell yeah.
Orleans.
Yeah.
Big
for
shout
sure.
out.
Gang shit.
Amazing food, I'll tell you that.
Hell
For
yeah.
real.
So when I was there, obviously I've progressed like writing. I'd say back in the day when I used to write, it was a lot harder than it is now just because I was thinking about it. And also just like, in general, I try to like over articulate when other people are listening to me speak, because I've been in a lot of situations where people will like undermine my intelligence because I'm black or because I'm a woman or because I'm gay. So I find myself like, not anymore as much as I used to, but back in the day I'd always be like, I'd use big words that don't even need to be used in songs when I could just use like a really easy word.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because then it's like, oh, well, they know that I'm smart too and that I don't just
Right,
sing.
right.
But now I'm realizing like,
That comes with age,
Yeah.
you know?
yeah, for
You're
sure.
just throwing curriculum out there for no
Yeah,
reason.
for no reason.
It's like, no, I get it. Like,
Vocabulary.
Fuck yeah.
all right.
Man, New Orleans. Man. Okay, so you told me you were allergic to shellfish earlier.
I did.
How did...
Lord.
Fuck, that's tough.
Yo, honestly, the craziest thing happened to me in New Orleans, just like to make it very short. I went to this place to get chicken Alfredo. It's like one of my favorite foods ever. I also like salmon a lot, but I went to go get some Alfredo, and I was like, hey, I have a shellfish allergy, so can you please try your best not to cross-contaminate? They're like, oh yeah, no problem, we
Oh,
got
they
you. So
threw
I get
Say
my-
less.
They threw crawfish
Got
in
you,
there.
fam. Got you.
They threw
And
crawfish in
it
there.
wasn't the first time that I ate there. That's why I thought I'd be good. But then I ate it and I was fine. Like nothing happened or anything. But then I went home later that night. I got home from like a band rehearsal or some shit. And I got in my bed and like I'm realizing I have like hives on my thigh. I'm like, did I brush up against something? Like did I walk into a bush? Like did I wear
Right.
some clothes or something? I was like, all right, bet. So then I go to sleep. I wake up an hour later, and now it's on both legs, and now it's on my arms, too. So I called my mom. I was like, yo, I think I'm having an allergic reaction. She's like, what did you eat? I was like, I think chicken. She's like, well, how long ago was it? And I told her it was like maybe 4 hours ago. She's like, oh, then that can't be what it is. And I was like, okay. So I took some Benadryl, went to bed. It was gone. So the next day I wake up. I go to sleep again the next night, and I wake up with hives again. So I have to fly back to Florida, go to my allergist, and figure out like what else I'm allergic to. And it was shellfish, and he said that it was getting progressively worse, and that every time that I expose myself to it, it's gonna get worse. So now I have an EpiPen, and now I have like I already have asthma, so I have an inhaler. So now if I eat shellfish or like if shellfish touches me, like,
God.
Wow,
Right,
that's
so it's not
serious.
just exterior anymore, right? It's not
No,
just hives. Like
everything,
throat
yeah.
will start closing.
Damn.
show.
Oh
So they better
my
not be
God, I'm
slacking in the
sorry.
green rooms when she's performing, yo,
That's what
for
I'm
real,
saying.
like for
Oh,
real,
no
for
shrimp.
real, you know, like
What a,
no
that's a
shrimp.
tough place to be in where you
New
can't
Orleans?
have shellfish.
Yeah, for sure.
Because crawfish,
Everyone eats
dude.
crawfish. But I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't know why. It's just scary to me.
Talk to us a little bit, excuse me, about your background. You know, you were telling us, I believe that your parents or your father was from
Yeah.
Haiti.
My dad is from Belize. My mom is from Haiti.
Okay,
So
okay.
My dad was born in Belmopan, which is the capital now. So it's next to Guatemala in Central America. They speak Spanish and English and Creole. That sounds like Jamaican patois. So I'm like kind of Jamaican by association. Like when I signed my first deal, it was like a reggae label and stuff. So it just all kind of just ties into each other. God was just like, sprinkle a little bit of everything on there and hope it works out. And it did. And I think also just like having Caribbean parents has taught me a lot as far as like how to act when I go to someone's house, for example, and like how to act in certain social situations. So it kind of helps. I definitely used to get my ass beat. Like I'm not even gonna hold you.
Respect.
But it definitely shaped me, and my parents are dope. So God bless them. They're having a good day. It was my mom's birthday actually yesterday.
Oh wow!
Oh,
okay,
wow.
happy
Happy
birthday!
birthday,
Big shout
happy
out! Big
birthday.
shout out! What influence do you think that you know your background had on or has on your sound?
I think it has like an enormous like influence on it because when I was growing up, I was listening to a lot of old school reggae. So my favorite reggae artists include like Damian Marley. I like Chronix. I don't know if you've heard of Chronix. He's kind of big. I also really like just like the old school stuff like Barris Hammond, like real Jamaican Snow. So my dad had the vinyls and he'd break out the vinyls and he would just play them and then eventually I would learn, I'm still in love with you, boy. So I was singing it in the backseat. My dad was like, what you know about that? And I was like, what you mean? You play this song every single day. So it definitely, like when I'm thinking about it and thinking about different ways to diversify myself and like, what can I do that I know that someone probably else doesn't know, then I'll just like be like, oh, they sang this melody in this song or like they said this word in this song, so maybe I should throw it in. And like sometimes it works, sometimes it's corny. You just gotta find a balance between the two.
Hell yeah, you gotta find the balance.
Yeah, hell yeah.
How would you compare the artistic scene down here in South Florida compared to New Orleans?
Night and day, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I would say they're neck and neck as far as like actual substance and talent is concerned. But I would say in New Orleans,
Get a little bit closer.
sorry, in New Orleans, everyone played an instrument in New Orleans also. It was like a liberal arts school, so everyone plays something, everyone's rehearsing, everyone's recording, everyone has speakers in a studio set up in their room, whereas Miami, it's like people are just working with producers, people are like depending on other people sometimes. Not all people, because there are people that do everything themselves. But as far as talent, it's pretty even. My homies that I have here, that rapper, that singer, kind of the equivalent to the homies that I have over there. I would just say that there's a lot more soul in New Orleans. Miami is a little bit artificial, and that doesn't take away from anyone or like what they're doing. I just feel like you go in somewhere in New Orleans, like, what's up, baby? How are you? Like everyone treats you with Southern hospitality, so it also ties into the music industry and how everyone's kind of like trying to help everyone out. So yeah, I would say that'd be the biggest difference. Whereas Miami is just like, here's a canoe and a paddle, and you just figure it out.
Right.
We're gonna be on the sand over here. Let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think, people that are here, I don't think that's a secret to them. You just
no.
expose them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superficial.
Like,
Exactly.
what?
Did you hear what she said?
Oh my God.
How dare she tell the world?
Spoiler
Fuck,
alert.
dude, we know what it is. I walk through the door, you're like, wait, what fucking brands are you wearing? That's what it is.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
real
It is,
though,
you
no
know?
cap.
I mean, last night at this event that I was telling you guys about, the MMA fight, I mean, big shout out Alex Martinez, baby. Got that belt.
Gang
knockout.
shit.
Shout out Anthony Wink. Got that knockout, that belt. Big shout out to them, you know what I'm saying? Put in
Hell
that work.
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the times, before you even make eye contact, we're making shoe contact.
Yeah,
You know,
for
it's
sure.
insane, bro. And then, I get complimented on the shoes. And that was the only thing I was concerned about. I was like, I don't care about my t-shirt, my shorts. I just care about my shoes.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, and actually speaking of that, your fashion sense is so immaculate. It kind of goes hand in hand with your performance.
Thank you.
Of course, where does that root from? Is that from New Orleans? Is that from your background? Is that Miami vibe? What is that? What is that from?
It came from getting roasted by my older brother. And sister. I gotta keep it in back.
Gang shit.
I
Shout out
haven't-
older brothers, bro.
Shout out,
We're here
shout
to
out.
serve a
Gotta
purpose.
do it. Gotta
We're here
do
to
it.
serve a purpose.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I would say I always wanted to be like my older siblings. Like I would always steal his clothes and wear them. My sister too. She'd be like, "Where did this go?" I'd be like, "I don't know." Then I'd post a picture on Instagram. She'd be like, so it just came down to just being comfortable. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I want to be a little more masculine. Sometimes I want to be more feminine. Sometimes I want to be a balance in between the two. So it's just an expression of who I am as a person. Like if I'm feeling girly that day, I'm gonna put on a dress. Like if I'm feeling a little masculine that day, I'm gonna put on my ones and some shorts and just a graphic tee.
Right,
You know what I mean? And honestly, my wardrobe is really just graphic tees. So for you to say that I have a fashion sense is just Urban Outfitters and Forever 21, baby.
Yo,
yeah.
that's what I'm
graphic tee.
talking about.
For sure.
And we're looking for that sponsorship too, you know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
So big shout out, big shout out.
sure.
Talk to me, how open are you in your lyrics, in your music? There's artists that are a little bit more reserved when it comes to certain things. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe, we were talking about Lil Nas X. Beforehand, before he had, come out or, had said that he was gay,
yeah.
His lyrics were written in the form of him.
To a girl.
Exactly.
Same with Frank Ocean, yeah.
Right. Same with Frank Ocean. And then there's some artists that are extremely open that are not, that'll even name drop, their exes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Which gives me pain. I'm like, bro, I hope none of my exes become artists, bro. 'Cause shit. But where do you lie? Are you in the middle? Are you reserved? Are you completely open? What do you send?
Well, I would say I'm pretty open. It hasn't always been this way. I have a song called At All that says he in it just because I knew that if a label heard it, they'd be like, she. This is a girl singing, something going on here. But it's gotten to a point where now I just released a song called Alone that's I got you free falling, know that I would never leave you lonely, know I like it when you put it on me, on me, on me. So I don't know if a boy would be able to put anything on me, you know what I mean? It's not very- So I just feel like I'm a little bit, I be insinuating, but I'm not oh yeah, I fucked a bad bitch and that's not me just because that's not me as a person. But if I want to talk about a lady, I'll talk about a lady. That's who I am. At the end of the day.
And what about regarding to, you being personally hurt and name dropping someone or something like that?
I don't think my ex deserves a name dropped, honestly,
Ooh.
only because she's an artist. So it's just now I'm giving you some nah. I gotta
Yeah, that's
give
free
me a
publicity. We
platform.
charge for that. You know what I mean? No. We doing that. Yeah. Okay, for sure. Talk to us about the venue. Some people brush over the venue, or you just kind of going to a stage or whatever. But other artists talk about the importance of the right vibe at the venue.
Mm-hmm.
You spoke about the Adrienne Arsht Center. How was the vibe there? How was the vibes at other locations? Were there any other places or venues that you went into and you kind of thought it was going to be something else, and it ended up being a little dingy or a little shady or whatever?
Definitely. I would say the Adrienne Arsht Center is probably the best that I've been treated. Sorry, all up in the mic.
You're good.
Just because, like I said, the dressing room was dope. They treated me really good. The only thing was that it was a little weird trying to get my girl a table or whatever. She got sat at 8, and the show I think started at 7:30 or something. And in a 16-minute set, that's half the set. You know what I mean? So that was really important to me. So I was in the middle of my set and I saw that she was still walking around. So I almost just stopped the set and was like, yo, what's going on? Can we get that situated? Because I know that it's COVID, but she's in the VIP and she's on the guest list and she's in the backstage, she's in the crew list. There's no reasons for that. But anyway, it was still dope. It was the best show that I probably played, the best venue. And then aside from that, I did a show in Hawaii called Cabana Fest where I opened for Danny Lay, Made in Tokyo, Tyga.
Wow.
I think Young Pinch. And they treated me really good. The only thing is that just like every other venue with sound check, like if you show up late to sound check, which I didn't, sometimes you don't get to check, whereas I was the first one and I still sound check last. And I was like a little bit closer to when like the main acts came on, so it was a little weird, but that's also just industry shit. So I don't even really think about that. Like if a venue asks me to play, then I'm blessed that they're giving me money or they're giving me time or that they're letting me showcase. Even if it's like free, if it's like a dope venue, I'll probably do the show. So I don't really have any complaints about shows that I've played. I would say I've played a couple events where someone was like, yo, come win this quick like rack or this quick $500. I'm like, okay, I pull up and it's just like people are hungry as fuck. Like everyone is just like, nah, like it's my turn. Like, and some people do like 5 songs when they clearly say do 1 song. So I show up and I do 1 song. But the person before me is doing like 7 songs because they really want to win. And then I still ended up winning like a quick $500 for 1 song. So it was just like,
damn.
people just don't really like stepping on people's toes. Whereas it's just like, I don't know. God is good. You just got to take advantage of the opportunities that it gives you and not complain about them because then you won't want to give you them. You know what I mean?
Is that what always, keeps you going? Just, the strength in God, or, have you ever been so disillusioned to the point that you thought about hanging up the mic?
I would say my first girlfriend, it was like we broke up and then I don't know. It was like my first girl, even though it wasn't. She was also just like living in Hawaii, so it was long distance. It was whenever she came to like mainland or whenever I went out there. So obviously that in itself is really stressful. And then trying to balance being an artist, and this is when my career sort of just started. I like just got signed, so I was just trying to keep my head on straight. I would say like after that breakup, I was in New Orleans, and I think maybe 3 days after we broke, hopefully my mom doesn't see this, but 3 days after we broke up, I called my parents and I was like, hey, I'm not really trying to do this college shit anymore. Like, I want to be an artist. Like, I'm not playing any more fucking games. Like, I don't want anyone to think that they can keep up. Like, I want to be in constant motion. So you guys can either help me or you can be disappointed, but I'm going to be there either way. So they were like, okay, whatever. They drove to pick me up 2 days later. Like, they rented a car and they put my whole dorm room in their car, and that was it. And they didn't look back on it. And I told them about what happened. They were like, I knew that girl was trouble. Like, I never liked her. My spirit never took her. I was like, okay, for sure. So they've been super supportive. So I would say I think a lot of artists have thought about hanging up the mic. And I've definitely thought about it. But, like, the people around me are always like, are you retarded, bro? Like, come on, dude. Like, you know better than that. I know you're having a tough time or whatever, but it's going to pass. And that's the hardest thing to remember as an artist, that everything is, like, temporary. Just like everything in life is temporary. Not to get too deep or dark, but everything is temporary. Even this body's temporary. That's why I don't get too hung up. And I'm finally in a part of my life where, like, if people want to go back and forth with me, I just, like, let them go back and forth with themselves. Because I'm a Sagittarius, and it hasn't always been that way. I like to just, like, talk shit, you know what I mean? So I would say, nah, I don't really think about it anymore. But there has been times, but then I've been reassured, so.
All right.
Like, okay.
As far as Kaylan, for an up-and-coming artist, would you believe or agree that the first big milestone for any artist is getting signed?
Absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely not. I would say the biggest, most monumental thing for a new artist to do is to have enough security within themselves to believe that they can put music out, whether people like it or not. So we're just putting a song out, I would say. Even if it's some SoundCloud shit and it's just like, you're just jamming in your house and you record it with your phone and you put it out. You're still exposing yourself and being vulnerable in front of pretty much everyone, because the internet, people can see stuff that's on the internet. Even if you only have 200 followers, someone in Switzerland could see it and be like, yo, this is hard. Like, I was watching the Lil Peep documentary, and I guess, like, he went to some country, I don't know if it was, like, Russia or some shit, and there was just fans waiting for him, and he just, like, did not expect anyone to be there. He didn't know, like, what it was like. Obviously, he went out there to do a show, but it kind of threw him off guard, and I thought that was really inspirational, because you never know who's listening. Like, sometimes I get DMs from Tokyo. Sometimes I get DMs from Nigeria. Like, it just depends on who you're connecting with. And that's why sonically it's super important. If you think that, like, working on how you look and building your brand is more important than the actual sound, then that's where people kind of get it twisted, because you have to resonate with people at a certain level and you got to vibrate at the same frequency as them for them to even support you. So I would say the biggest thing is just trusting yourself and putting music out and just, like, trying to prove all your haters wrong, but more so just trying to prove yourself wrong. And that's that.
How much time between from when you were putting music out and from when you started really building up some traction?
I would say I just started building up. Actually, no, I can't even say that because I would discredit myself. But I would say, like, I'm just finally feeling comfortable with, like, my fan base in Miami. And I was just about to move to LA too. And then I did this Adrienne Arsht show. And then I did the after party, the release party. I was like, I can't go anywhere.
They want me here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I would say my first song, The Crown, my very first single ever, charted number 61 globally on iTunes Reggae.
Okay.
It charted I think it charted like number 6 in New Zealand for reggae. It was just a bunch of weird spontaneous shit. And even though I had like a label, like an indie label, and I'm gonna just do this and just leave it there, it was just a lot of independent stuff, and it was just people believing in me. So I would say it didn't really take long. It was kind of just like step and go, like that was it. I just released music, and then people were like, all right, let it begin. Like, congratulations, this is the first one. Just be prepared, because this is not going to be the last one, and it's not going to be easy, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then I think Hydrate did like a lot better than I thought, and a lot better than a lot of people thought that it would do. And that one charted too. I think every song that I've released has charted globally, and I think that Hydrate charted like 81 in iTunes Hip Hop globally. So it was like sitting right above Views by Drake and right below, I don't remember what the other artist is, but I think it kind of threw me a little bit. It didn't really take too much for it to take off. It's just God's been working, and that's that.
Well, what was the reaction like when you wake up and you see that?
I didn't see it. I didn't even check. I had someone in Hawaii like post it on their story. They're like, "Oh, by the way, congrats on this." I was like,
damn.
What? So by the time I went to check, it wasn't in the top. I think it was like a day later or like 2 days later. So it debuted. I don't even know where it debuted. It could have debuted even higher than 81.
Wow.
But when I saw it, it was at 81. And then when I saw it again, it was at 150. So I don't know where it was when it first came out.
That's awesome.
What was your experience like the first day you got signed? And in retrospect, tell us your experience in retrospect as well.
Well, I would say I can't really go too much into it, just because like I'm finally like out of the woods, even though we were in the woods for a little bit. What I can say and elaborate on is that I thought that it was going to be a dream. Even my mom caught me smoking weed the day before, and then I got the DM, "I want to sign you," and then she was magically okay with the fact that I was smoking weed. So that went out the window, I'd say. So that was dope. Like, it made my parents kind of be like, okay, like I know this person. Like, I've been listening to their music, and now like they're listening to my kids, so maybe there is something going on in there. So I'd say more than anything, it gave my parents a little bit of insight as to like what I'm capable of, you know what I mean?
Like a sense of legitimacy.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say it was bittersweet at first. Like, I still ended up doing everything by myself, just like I'm still kind of doing a lot of things solo now. So I wouldn't say like I was like jumping for joy or anything. I think it was dope. I think it was God finally being like, yo, like this is an opportunity, take it or leave it. And I can't say that I wish that I passed on it, because it did get me to certain places that I probably couldn't have gotten without it. At the same time, like I can also say there's some connections that I've made from just knowing the people that I knew that are now lifetime connections, even if it's not music or if it's just a friend or something. So I don't regret any decision that I've made, but would I make it again? Absolutely not.
There's a lot of
that doesn't go for like all labels. Don't get me wrong.
No, of
Just
course.
that situation.
Because I know a couple years ago there was a big craze over, especially with Chance the Rapper being independent.
Man.
Being independent was the new hottest thing. And then when he made it so his album or mixtape was good enough that the Grammys changed their rules that they could have an actual mixtape as opposed to an album be considered for best album of the year, which is why a lot of people went independent. And also Macklemore had released a song called The Industry or something along those lines, and he basically talked about how the industry, for lack of better words, can fuck a young artist.
Right.
Almost
did.
I'm sorry.
It almost did.
Right.
Sure.
What are your 2 cents? Do you think artists right now are too quick to sign on the bottom line? They're not reading the fine print. Do you think that they're promised with the laps of luxury, and you're really just gonna be working the same and just take a bigger cut?
Well, what I can say is, I had like a conversation with like T-Pain and Fab, and they both said the same thing. And they said, and this is like people who are where they're at in life, and we like know their bangers or whatever. So I'm gonna believe what they're saying. They basically said, keep the people that you're close to you, and if they end up being someone that works for you, then that's better because you trust them. Like Fab had a manager who he was really good friends with for a while that had no experience in the music industry, and that he said that was his best manager to his day too. I think Barian mentioned something about that too. So I would just say, it's not about being too quick to sign. It's just making sure you have your own team. Sometimes you can bring a whole team to a label, and they'll help all your dogs out. You know what I mean? So if you have someone like, I have a videographer and a creative director named Nico who does pretty much everything for me. So not only is he my creative director and shooting my videos and editing my videos, but he's answering emails, he's answering phone calls, he's coordinating. If someone hits me up about something where there's money involved, it's like, yo, like, can you please help me up and just like keep, even the Adrienne Arsht show, it could have went so different because I think we rehearsed like a week and a half before the show, and we had like 2 months to rehearse for. But it's because I was just doing so many other tasks. So I hit Nico one day and I was like, yo, this show's coming up. I need some help. Like, I got the band together, but I need you to text them and I need you to like figure out a rehearsal space. I'll pay for it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, cool, I got you. So he ended up coordinating everything. They gave him a backstage pass, and that was it. He was part of crew. So I would say it's essential more so to just have people that believe in you and that are making motions more than it is like important to sign a record deal, because I don't know, sometimes your homies can, not even just your homies, but whoever's on your side can help you out more than that situation, because then there is the possibility that you could get shelved, there's a possibility that you could get fucked, there's a possibility that things just don't go the way that you want them to. So just be confident in yourself first, and then build a team around that. And then if someone wants to throw you some bread, and even if you got to pay it back, if someone has to throw you some bread to make some shit happen, then you could take advantage of that. Just make sure they use your money responsibly, because a lot of people get fucked up.
Oh yeah, most definitely. What do you think? And this applies to you as well. You know, from the business perspective, what do you think is more valuable in a sense from their perspective? Someone that has an emotional connection to you, or someone that has a financial investment in you?
Well, I had to learn the hard way that it's definitely someone who has an emotional connection to you, because they could play both roles, whereas someone who just has an investment in you isn't always going to be as willing to have an emotional connection to you as well. And sometimes in life we can't expect people to, and I think that's where I've messed up so many times in the industry, is just like believing that someone's intentions were good as opposed to believing in myself, because sometimes I'm the only reason that someone enters my life is because they see what they can get out of it for themselves. So instead, I was raised to just believe like, oh, this person has good intentions, like they were raised the same way as me,
same.
like not the case at all. So I just like being in the industry is just like watching my shoulder like 24/7.
Like Neo just dodging bullets out here,
Yeah,
bro.
for real.
Like,
What the fuck is
jeez.
that?
Like, damn. I mean, what do you think about that?
No, I mean, it makes sense, right? Someone that, like you said, like an old friend, or maybe sometimes a family member, I mean, they'll just break their back for you.
Right.
Yeah.
As to what someone that just put up some money for you probably won't.
Right.
I mean, of course, they
want their money back,
right?
but
Sometimes you make friends with people like
Right,
that, or
right.
you end up building a real relationship with them, so you can get both of them. But I feel like the odds that someone that you bring that doesn't have the financial backing to support you, but they will support you in every other regard.
right.
Sometimes that, I mean,
We need
that's
that
that's
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely not something you can discount.
That's
It's super grounding as well too.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. Shout out Entourage, Vinny Chase, and E.
And
you know
E.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hell yeah.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, every week we have two. I said count them, 2 segments. You know what I'm talking about. And the first one, last time I messed up, but this time I won't, is the movie review of the week. You know what I'm talking about. And every single week we ask our illustrious guests, for a suggestion, a film, a TV show. Hell, we've had a damn video game in here. Angelina Castro suggest a damn porn film. You know what I'm saying? So any suggestion for, let's say you got a big performance. Let's say you're performing at the sold out Adrienne Arsht Center. Shout out. You know what I'm saying? And you need something to, even though you're not big on it, you need something to ease the nerves, something to just chill out, something to get your mind off of things. What is something that you could not recommend more to our listeners?
Well, I mean, I'm like a horror movie advocate, so I don't know about lessening my anxiety, but I would say, I don't know if you've seen it on Netflix. I think it's called Eli or something. It's like about this
Not Book of Eli, right?
No. Just
Awesome movie,
Eli.
though.
It's about this little boy, this little white boy, and he basically, like, he has some issues and he, like, gets bullied, and then one thing turns into another thing, and they end up bringing him to, like, a psychiatric hospital. And so the whole time they make you think that he has mental issues, and at the end of the movie, I guess he's, like, possessed or something. They don't bring it out until like the last 30 seconds of the movie. So the
Spoiler
whole time,
alert.
Sorry. I don't know. But basically, like, they make you think that it's like some mental shit. And I like movies that kind of make you think, like, is this supernatural, or do people that are schizophrenic really see these things and there's no way of proving that they can see it or something. And then I also like Girl Code. I watch that a lot too. It's super dope. And I kind of just spend a lot of time watching music videos and like getting inspiration from different artists. I like watching covers a lot. And there's this artist named Haley Reinhart who didn't win American Idol, but I think a few years ago she was like 3rd place or something. And she did a cover of Creep that just like I think about every single day. And it's just super dope.
Radiohead Creep?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And she
Great
did like
song.
a stand-up bass, like 60s jazz vibe to it. It was just-
Interesting.
Okay.
And she's fun.
As far as Eli, how many stars would you give it?
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope. It's
Not
really
gonna be
dope.
watching that.
Gotta.
I do
He's
not
not big
watch
in on horror movies.
at
I
all.
love them.
At all.
I love them.
What?
No.
Why? I can't
Live-
watch him by myself.
Live, well, of course not, right? That wasn't even in the question that I'm gonna sit by myself at night
sir.
watching this, you know?
Oh my god.
I like Superbad too. It's a dope movie.
Super bad. Hell yeah.
Which one was super
That's
bad?
the one that. I mean, dude, the one that they. With.
Oh, wait.
Come
That's
on.
Jonah Hill and
Yeah,
McLovin?
come on,
Yeah.
McLovin.
Hilarious fucking movie.
Come on.
Hilarious.
Can't go
fucking
wrong with
movie.
Superbad. Can't go wrong with
Perfectly
Superbad.
encompassed a senior in high school.
Yes.
Oh
Absolutely.
my god, yeah.
Perfectly encompassed.
Damn. And that.
They have the little McLovin IDs. I'm about to go to LA tomorrow, so they have like
Oh,
these little
shit.
McLovin IDs for sale in this little shop.
That's
So I
hilarious.
said I was gonna buy one last time and I didn't. So today, tomorrow, the first thing I'm gonna do is go and buy one.
Hell yeah.
So when I get carded, I'm just gonna be like, oh,
Hell yeah.
wrong one.
Shout out LA, you know what I'm saying?
shout
Legalize cannabis, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
What is something that you do when you have, if you ever have, writer's block?
Watch short films on YouTube in silence, usually to whatever the beat is. Usually if they're like 2 minutes or under 2 minutes or 1 minute, I'll just kind of like try to stir up some emotion from it. If I have writer's block, sometimes I'll just close it and open it like another day. And sometimes they don't get opened again, which is a little bit toxic. But at the same time, I try not to spend 2, 3, 4 hours just sitting in front of a beat. If I can't think of something, then I like to refresh my palette and come back to it. Because usually when I come back to it, I'll probably hear something that I didn't like and want it to be better anyway. You know what I mean? So I would say when I have writer's block, just kind of pause and breathe and come back to it. Smoke a J, maybe like pour up a little drink or something, and then come back. I try not to make it a stressful thing because once I have to start thinking about making music, then it's not fun for me anymore, and I don't really want to make it. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, it becomes more work at that point.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Has it always...
That's also another fear of mine regarding label shit because like if it's like I'm vibing and it's like, oh, we need this to be turned in by da-da-da-da, I'm like, yo, like, I'm the artist. You
Yeah.
gotta chill. Whereas
Right.
if
Which
I'm
is
independent,
weird. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never understood why the label is like, yo, we got to fucking pressure. We got to, I don't know, in 3 months we got to get an album.
'Cause that's how you get bad projects.
Yeah, because exactly.
Right.
How do they not? Because I understand, right? They put up the financials in the front, to get the studio space, whatever the fuck it is that they end up paying for in the beginning, and you have to get a return for
Right.
sure.
Right.
But I'd rather wait another year or whatever the time. Maybe it's just an extra week or two, whatever. Like you're finishing up some shit, then put out something that's just not ready.
Yep,
Because you're not gonna make your money like that.
exactly.
Because
Because I wanted to rush to put out an album back in the day when if I put out that album and it was out today, I'd be so upset because it's
Right.
not what Hydrate is, like the first album that I put out. And I think that I was so confident in wanting to put out Hydrate that even so, I started having calls with labels and A&Rs from like some major labels, and they were like, "We're down to help you, just push it back." And I was just like, I waited 4 years to put this out. Like I got shelved, wasn't allowed to do anything. I think that I'm gonna put the album out. They're like, whatever, it's not gonna do well. And then it did well, and they were like, oh,
Hey, so you remember that conversation we had a couple months
for
ago?
real. I know a couple of those, but it's okay. God bless them.
God
I hope
bless
they
them.
get everything they need in life.
God bless them. I mean, you can't do it any other way.
Right.
Talk to me about audiences. You said that you've never really had, really a bad venue per se. But sometimes we've had comedians shout out Scheme Supreme or whatever the case, and they talk about the audience members sometimes heckling or being rude, sometimes being on their phone. Does that get to you at all? You got an audience member, you're over here busting your ass, you're over here shedding all of your emotions, and this person's over here on Tinder.
I would say what I would say to that is you should be able to, as an artist, get everyone in the room to shut the fuck up when you start singing, you know what I mean? And it has not always been that way for me. And that's my own fault because of my energy that I bring. But if I walk into a venue, it's like, oh, now we have Kaylan Arnold. When I walk on stage, I'm like, yo, how we doing? And if people are quiet, I'm like, okay, I'll wait, show. And then they're like, oh, shit, like, she's rude too, for sure. Then we can't be rude to her. But I'm not really rude, but you know what I mean by that. And
Shout
I
out
would
fifth
just
grade
say-
Mr. Cooper, bro. He got us in oof like that, bro.
I would say you just got to be able to come and just, like, turn heads when you come, and like not everyone has the power to do that. There are some people that are dope in studio, there are people that are dope when collabing or when writing, but then when it comes to showtime, it's all about stage presence. There's like so many different things that being an artist is broken into. There's stage presence, there's writing, there's actually delivery in the song, there's the energy and the emotion that you're putting into the song. It's like the consistency, it's the work ethic. So once you have everything and you just throw it in the pot, and it's just gonna be a good soup if you go to play a show. Like everybody's gonna want some of the soup.
That's a gumbo
But-
right there.
For sure,
Okay, you know what
No
I'm talking
shellfish,
about.
though.
Exactly.
No shellfish, no
profit.
shellfish.
For sure.
Yeah, no
Thank you very
shellfish, no
much.
shellfish. Talk to me about the process of picking a single. I feel like, I mean, it's so straightforward, but I feel like it would also be so unbelievably difficult because, you know, if you've worked on on something of 14, 15 different tracks or whatever the case, all of which means something entirely different to you, all of which obviously have met a standard that you have, you know, a bar that you set. What is the process like of saying, hey, out of 10, 11, 12, whatever tracks, this is going to be the one that performs the best? How do you do that?
It's about energy and how I feel when I'm recording something. If I record something or if I'm listening back to the album. Like, I've heard Hydrate probably, I don't even know how many times throughout recording, mixing, mastering. But there's just, like, a couple songs on the album where I play and I'm like, yo, like, imagine if I played this at Coachella, it would go crazy. So I just, like, go like that. Or, like, I think the singles that I think we picked 2 off the album. So it was called Prayed Up. I picked that one because I was going through a difficult time. And, like, it's sort of just about how good God is. It's not like a worship song, but it's just like, it's a hip hop song. It's like Christian trap, but it's also not Christian at all because it's not really religious. It's just whatever God you believe in. Make sure that you're like utilizing him or her or it and whatever that you're doing. And as long as you do that, then no one can really like penetrate whatever's going on. So I think that would be like the main message that I try to convey just as an artist. So if that's my main message, then that's going to be the single. And then there's another song called If I'm Lying that I did with this artist named Stoneboy in Ghana, Africa. And he has a pretty big following. I think he has like 4.3 million like followers on Instagram, and his views are like 100 million or whatever. So I would just say like that's easy. I know that like he's helping me out and I'm helping him out at the same time. And it's someone that kind of just like believes in where I'm at in my journey and stuff. So even if he didn't have the numbers, I would appreciate him because it's a genuine link and he kind of gave me a shot because he really didn't have to give me the verse. You know what I mean? He could have been like, yeah, give me like 50 racks and I got you. So dope.
Hella dope.
He gave you his time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Is that something you notice is common in the industry? Because I feel like, listen, for someone that's not ever been part of the industry or probably will ever be part of the industry, looking from the outside, I feel like for probably the notion we have is, oh, if they're collabing, it's because they're there to make money.
Right.
Right?
I would say no, that's not how it is if you're dope enough and people take your energy enough. Because obviously being dope gets you in the door, but your energy keeps you in the room. So,
Right.
like, I have a song with Trippie Redd, for example, and it's just because he listened to my shit. He was like, yo, you're dope. Like, what's up? Let's cook
Let's
something
make
up.
something.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's how it goes. So,
And I feel like you can tell the difference with those songs,
Of
right? Like,
course.
there's a song where you're like, yeah, these guys were just trying to make a fucking
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there are
quick
there,
buck.
there
Yeah.
are stories of like, for example, of 2 Chainz was talking about how he had gotten cut in one of Eminem's songs, but then Eminem released it with him on it or whatever. But they just said that, I mean, I sent my verse over, to his producer or whatever, like via email or whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't even meet up to do, certain
Right.
tracks.
the same
Crazy.
way, that's how I've done, like, a lot of features as well, I would say.
Really?
Even my verses, like, honestly, I don't really do that many collabs, like, with other people. I don't just, like, be giving out my verses because when I first started, I was told, like, if you give a verse to everyone that asked, then it devalues your name. So the songs have to be good to some extent. So I think that bigger artists think that,
Which is
especially
fair.
with a big brand, like, they don't want to fuck up their brand because there's, like, a song that, like, slipped out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we would never leak a song or, like, put out a song without anyone else's consent because if I was, like, drunk one night and we, like, went in the studio and I was rapping and I said some shit, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're putting it out next week, I'd be like, according to who? Like, I got a whole team and lawyers that you got to go through as well.
Right.
So
Right.
as long as it doesn't get tricky and everyone's respectful and the energy is good, then shit just works out on its own.
What's your experience been like with producers down here?
They're dope. I like Miami producers. They got a little swag, a little Iocho vibe, a little. Honestly, to keep it a buck with you, I like live instrumentation. So when I first started singing, I was playing guitar, and I play guitar, drums, flute, ukulele, and piano. So if the melody isn't dope, even if it's like a flute or like some bells or something in the trap beat, if it's not dope, then it's hard for me to write. So I've met a lot of producers that only do trap, and it's just 808 and hi-hat and
Yeah.
kick and snare. So it's like,
Right.
I'm not saying it's not music because it's still music. It's just like I can't always work like that. So
Right.
I started meeting people who most of my favorite producers are producers that are from New Orleans or DC or like somewhere where like jazz or some other
That
Where
influence.
Yeah,
live instrumentation
exactly.
is a thing.
yeah. So I like working with vibes like that. I just put out this album just because like I wanted to put it out for myself. But the next album, I wanted to be live instrumentation. I wanted to be something that you can just like listen to, like what John Mayer's albums are to me, or like what Alicia's are to me, or John Legend to me. You know what I mean? So
Hell yeah.
I would say that it's dope. There's a lot of diversity still, but somehow like it is mainly trap based. So it's a little bit harder because I'm not R&B. I don't like when people call me an R&B artist, but don't get it twisted because I can sing R&B. I can do like whatever I want to. I feel like we're versatile enough on this side, but I just feel like I want to be able to do some different shit where someone hears it and they're like, what? I've never heard this before. Because if it's like, oh, I heard this before. I heard LMI do this, or I heard whoever do this. I heard SZA do this, and it's like, is she really that dope, or does it just sound like someone? That's why also sometimes when people say that I sound like Lauryn Hill, I'm always just like she's the GOAT. Don't get it
Right.
twisted. I don't want to be compared to the GOAT because she's the GOAT. I want me to sound like Kaylan Arnold.
Hell
so I'm
yeah.
always like,
Right.
what am I doing that's sounding like Lauren? Let me stop doing that and
Right.
change it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Damn. And that's a damn fact. You know, it's crazy how, you know, when you're young, you want to be like everybody else. And when you grow up, you don't. You know,
Exactly,
that's,
dude.
That's wild. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week we have two segments. You know what I'm talking about. And the second one is actually the quest for the truth. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. And in this here segment, we get a random emphasis on the word random card from this here deck of cards. And we ask everybody on set this here question.
The quest for
Man.
the truth starts with deception.
How dare you?
Deception. I guess as any journey to truth, right?
You know what? This is actually, it was probably one of the first ones I picked. It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. Not too hard. Kaylan,
Yes, sir.
what do the first 30 minutes of your typical day look like?
Okay. I wake up. I drink some water because chances are I was in the studio the night before and my shit
hydrate.
dry as the Sahara. So
Cottonmouth
drink
is
some-
real, boy.
I drink some water, then I brush my teeth, then I smoke a J.
Respect.
Get elevated. No grabba in the morning, maybe in the nighttime. So I smoke a J, drink some more water, get right. Sometimes I pray, sometimes I meditate, sometimes I just wake up, just open my computer and just start mixing whatever I didn't finish from last night. But there's always some type of music involved, so it's a little bit boring if I'm by myself. I just wake up and just like prioritize to just compensate for all the procrastination that was probably done the day before. And then I get some food. I really like salmon. That's probably the only food that I could eat every single day of my life and just not
Wow.
get tired of it. It's a little weird, but there are so many different ways that you can make it. And I also cook as well. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I wear many hats.
Damn, okay, all
So I'll
right.
probably chef something up from my girl and I, and then from there, I like to go outside. I really like shopping. So if I'm having a bad day or if I'm feeling depressed or I just got into a fight with somebody, I'm be like, let's go. We're going to Forever 21. So I just like self-medicate like that. So I would say nothing kind of crazy unless it's like a show that we're prepping for. Then it's just like rehearsals, which are super dope. But definitely smoke a lot of weed. Which is I'm not saying for kids to smoke weed, but what I am saying is if you do smoke weed, you could probably be friends.
Respect. Respect. You peep the volcano
We can
on
still be
deck.
friends if you don't smoke weed.
There you go. It just gets a little awkward sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? Emi, what do the first 30 minutes of your day look like?
If we're counting when I actually wake up as opposed to the first time I hit snooze.
Yeah, no.
I never thought about that.
Yeah. Because I mean that's the thing.
It is.
Snoozing is a thing. Probably four snoozes, 5 snoozes.
Solid.
Yeah, that's
Me
about
too.
right.
Yeah,
Same.
probably. And I found out that because at first it was every 10 minutes, so I would have to set my timer, like my alarm, like an hour before, because that's 10 fucking minutes. You're gonna
Right.
fall asleep again for real in 10 minutes.
Yeah, for real.
So I set it up to like every 3 minutes, so I can't actually fall back asleep, and then it's just like, fuck it, I'm done with this sound. Let's go. First
For
30
sure.
minutes is like
It's hard.
get up, I'm dressed, I let my dog use the restroom, and I'm out. And then the next 15 minutes are part of me driving to work.
Dope.
Oh, wow.
first
You're out
bro.
quick, bro. You're out quick. I got
I'm
this
dressed and ready in like 4 minutes.
I can respect that, yo.
I got a
Yeah,
production.
Because my older brother,
Fuck the morning.
he models for Wilhelmina, so I feel like you already know how that goes.
yeah.
Like, we can't share a bathroom on vacation. It's literally an hour.
Oh,
Wow.
fuck no, an hour? Man.
Dude, no exaggeration.
No.
Like,
So he just washes his clothes on his abs, probably, huh?
Oh,
Yeah, bro,
no.
it's horrible.
I don't
That's how
even
he
do my
does it.
hair.
He's not even a girl. Like, let the ladies get in the bathroom.
Damn.
Nah, I don't even do my hair.
But shout out to
I put
him.
a ball
Love him.
cap
God
on.
bless him.
Hell yeah, big shout out,
I'm
big
out.
shout out.
No.
Damn,
I'm
you're
quick.
you're quick. Nacio, your first 30 minutes of your day.
Post news, like
Yeah,
you're
post
actually
news.
awake.
Post news,
I mean, I wake up before 5 a.m. every day,
respect.
so it's a little bit of regret.
You wake up,
Say, damn.
today day I quit.
Do I need this paycheck?
Something along those lines. Takes me about like 5-10 minutes to get dressed because I'm thinking about how to even put my pants on at that
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Right.
Naturally.
Natural morning routine, brush my teeth, wash my face, and then head to work and just start the day. Eat like a banana or something
There you go.
small.
He's right.
Get that
the
beauty.
face wash.
That beauty
Like I
routine.
gotta cold water.
Oh, yeah.
Cold because if I don't,
That's
I
what
feel it
wakes
for the
me
next
up.
3-4 hours.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Beauty routine for sure, for sure.
Hell yeah.
That's like a survival routine, dude.
For sure.
If I don't do that, I'll feel it for the next 3-4 hours. Like I just woke up, my eyes are still swollen. Like I'll still be
Yeah,
like,
you got like the eye boogers and shit.
yeah, dude.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
What do your first 30 minutes look like?
Honestly, this is probably the entrepreneur in me.
There you go.
The first thing I do is check all my bank accounts.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Oh,
I'm gonna have
okay,
to
wait, can we
incorporate that.
can we
I'm gonna
just
have to-
I need okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's a real gotta love it.
Yeah.
The reason this is important, somebody just hacked one of my business accounts.
Oh,
It was
no.
a
My
fucking
God.
Miller's Ale House. Like
What?
Gang shit.
On a date.
$185 worth of. But had I not been conditioned
How much?
to $185.
At
Bro,
the ale house?
What the fuck are they?
What
eating
are
in
you
the
eating
ale
at the
house,
ale
bro?
house? Yeah.
Had to be drinks. I
Yo,
was
like,
it's gotta
straight
be a lot
up.
of Drinks, but had I not checked that, I would have been too late, maybe even recognized
Right, to jump on it.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
every morning, like I know to
I think I'm gonna have to incorporate that, dude.
Yo, for
Wake up on the right
real.
note, be like,
because
what's
your
going on
bank is
in here?
only going- This is what my bank told me. It was just pending, so it hadn't even cleared yet.
Right.
They told me they can't even do anything until it actually
Clears, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
wild.
they've got you on record, bro. They
Yeah,
got you on
so
record.
that's-
Like this guy was fucking. He saw
Yeah.
his shit.
Yeah.
Boom.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
Fucking money, bro.
That boy's doing account monitoring by himself, bro. That's yo, hell
I'm
yeah.
on TD Bank. That's my first.
That God, that's
Log
beautiful.
off, I signed in the TD Bank, and then I got an account with Tropical Financial, and then
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Make sure everything's in order.
I gotta take a dump every morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Gotta make
It's
sure.
like mandatory. I can't even get in the
Oh,
shower.
he's actually, dude. How did I forget
He's
that?
actually serious.
Immediately wake up, like immediately. If I sit up, need to go pee.
I gotta use it.
Yeah, for sure.
Immediate, dude. What is that,
Yeah.
bro?
I don't know what that is.
fucking. It
I mean, it's
irritates
the
me
8
sometimes.
hours that you're just laying on your back.
Yeah, bro. Well, no, let's be real.
Or
8
it's
hours.
five and a half.
I'm not 75 years old. I mean, maybe on a good day, 5 hours, dude.
Solid.
Also, I did it to myself. Shout out Warzone. Fuck you guys.
Damn. I mean, that's
Listen,
how it
dude,
be.
you gotta put in work,
I'm a simple man. I recently got a treadmill. I'm on the road to 205. Road to 205. It's not easy, you know what I'm saying? It's
go.
not easy. There's speed bumps along the way,
Oh,
but we're
yeah.
trying, So we got a treadmill.
It's not
and
easy, but there are those of us that are already there. You know what it is.
and then there's some of us that are 6 feet tall. You know what I'm saying?
I'm dead. Oh,
Fucking guy.
But meet me at 205, bro.
You gotta say, "I'll meet you."
Yeah,
at 205.
sure. He's at $2 right now. So no, I gotta give respect where
Gang
respect
shit.
is due. I'm mad
Gang
proud of this
shit.
man. Mad proud of this man. You know what I'm saying?
We're trying to
Been
get into
putting
that
in
2 bill
work.
mark.
Oh, yeah.
It's been fucking a long time.
Hell yeah. So yeah, my 30 minutes. My 30 minutes is it's 5 minutes of me waking up and 25 minutes of me convincing myself to get on the damn treadmill. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is.
Hell
and
yeah.
then I finally get in there, get my little 45 minutes in. I come
That's
out.
a good
oof.
morning though, dude. That's a good morning. Because I remember I used to work out in the mornings middle school, high school, college. You wake up, and if it's soccer practice or if you're just doing a quick 3 miles to then go to, spar or whatever, Those were fucking great days, dude.
Yeah.
Like running in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what do you want to do today, bro? Let's do it all.
Yeah.
Let's
Do it all, dude. I'm
I always
great.
hated running. I always hated running.
Oh,
like,
real?
Whenever I was
I
in
hate it
practice
now.
and we were in conditioning and I was like talking back or like saying something slick or being punished, I always hoped it was like sit-ups or like burpees.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but
Let's
no,
do whatever you
suicides.
want.
It's
Yeah,
suicides every
Yeah,
time.
can't do it.
Suicides, bro.
Oh, man,
I
I
hated
hated
that.
running.
I hated suicides.
Actually, that's not true. I loved running then. But like now I'm like, fuck it, guys.
Yeah,
I ran
yeah.
enough for the rest of
Yeah.
my life.
For
I'm not
real,
trying to be
though.
out there anymore.
Kaylan, have you ever looked back on your decision to choose your performing career over basketball?
Hell no. Because conditioning and running.
She was very
I'm just
clear
playing.
about that.
But honestly, no, just because I know that I would not have been as successful in the basketball court as I am like in the music basketball court. Just because, like, I know that hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. But at the same time, if there's something that you're gifted, the gift isn't always the same as something that's acquired by practicing. So I could practice basketball. I could hit 100 free throws, do however many layups, and that's like you get far, you get in the WNBA. But as far as music, there's like endless things you could do. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you could be in a movie for playing basketball, but I definitely want to be in a movie one day.
Shout out
Singing
Space
on
Jam.
the
Oh,
stage.
You know what I'm saying?
shout
Space
out.
Jam.
You know what I'm saying?
Got my ass.
Did you see Space Jam 2?
Of course.
Is it good?
Wait, it already came out?
Oh, two? No, I didn't
No.
see two.
Oh,
It came out?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Oh,
don't
okay.
Know, dude.
I was like-
I don't know.
I
At
was
some
like,
point, I
yeah.
saw a video of
Yeah.
LeBron and some other people, and I'm like, bro, this isn't Team USA. I don't know who the fuck these people are. Like, I don't know how I feel. I do know how I feel. I don't feel good about Space Jam 2. I'm gonna watch it though.
Got it.
Don't
I mean, you
fuck
gotta
it
give
up.
it. You gotta give it a
Don't fuck
chance.
it up.
Don't fuck it up.
But-
Kaylan, have you ever thought about possibly going into or diving into the acting realm? What about your, what's been your experience like when you're shooting videos, when you're getting those visuals? Are you more so focused on what the shot looks like from, in front of the camera? Or do you also kind of want to inquire with whoever is, doing the cinematography, whoever's doing the visuals, like, hey, this is my vision, this is what I want. What's kind of like your process like when it comes to visuals?
Well, I would say I've only shot one. Well, no, I have some stuff that hasn't come out, but I've only released one music videos for this album, so I'm still kind of new to like the music video stuff. But I would say that I definitely would love to act in the future. Not really much of a liar, but I'm sure I could still portray a character as someone else if I wanted to. So I think it'd be a lot of fun. Also, I did a lot of musical theater. That's kind of how I got into making music and stuff. Is because when I was a kid, I was a scarecrow in like The Wizard of Oz. I was Miss Hannigan and Annie.
Bro,
So-
that's a role right there, bro.
Yeah,
You
it
gotta
was tough.
bring out a lot of pent up aggression for that role. Let me tell
Sure.
you. There's a lot of child abuse in
So
that one.
absolutely, I would love to. I'd love to direct stuff for other people too. So I think when I get there, I'll get there. I'm not really in a rush. No.
For sure, as it should be. And
Right.
what about have you been content so far with your experience in getting those visuals? Have you been happy with how the visuals turned out?
Yeah, absolutely. My videographer is super dope as well, so it just makes things a lot easier because he's super talented. So I don't know. I can't really say too much about that because that I don't know. But I would say if in 5 years from now I have like a Netflix series, I'll definitely come back.
Hey, what, bro? Let me get an
Shit.
audition for that,
So-
bro. Gee, shit. And then last thing before we start wrapping up, what would you tell a young artist? Someone who's getting into the industry who has big gullible eyes, they see their names and lights and all that, and what would you tell them in order to both be realistic but also inspirational?
I would say 3 things. I would say number 1, pray. I would say number 2, the only person that can stand in your way is yourself. And I would say number 3, what other people think about you is not any of your business.
Oh God, that's beautiful.
Because I wish I knew that these things, like back in the day. Because I used to be a little sensitive Sagittarius. I got bullied and stuff for being black in school. So I was just like, it was very easy for someone to like poke me and me get upset. But now, like, I'm in a point in my life where it's just like, I genuinely don't give a fuck unless it's benefiting me and it's benefiting my emotional and mental health or my pockets or something. So,
Right.
like I said earlier, I don't really go back and forth anymore. So try not to go back and forth because it really does have an impact. And there's some things that I could have fucked up in my music industry if I I don't know, if I didn't get lucky. Because there's some situations where I've just like cursed out the wrong person. I'm not saying they did not deserve to get cursed out, but it's just like now this person has this perception of you and they can bring it into the next room and be like, well, she's this, and that. What you saying? Like, are you sure you want to work with an artist like this. But then people with common sense in the industry know, like, everyone's human. Like, everyone goes through their shit, and you got to treat people with respect and the utmost. So I'd say just chill and smoke weed. I'm just kidding.
That's what's up. And then lastly, how do you deal? I mean, two things. How did you get that confidence to be able to beat that? You know, that little how you call it, that Sagittarius that was bullied. How were you able to overcome that and become artist Kaylan Arnold? You know, bursting on stage. You know, to screaming fans. Where did that transition come from?
I got tired of taking L's. And I wanted to take W's, and I realized that W's were literally just in like arm's reach, and all I had to do was like stretch a little bit. So I would say just that. And like, I know that I'm gonna keep tying God into all this, but I would not be sitting in this chair today if I didn't pray, or if I wasn't raised. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm the most religious person, but if my mom didn't like drag my ass out of bed every day to go to church and like kind of develop some type of relationship, even though it's changed a little bit, like, I'd say that is mainly what it is. And just believing in yourself, because once you believe in yourself, it doesn't matter who else believes in you, because even though, like, Rome wasn't built in a day, and, like, you can't really make the biggest moves without a team, like, you got to start by believing in yourself and being the first player, you know? Like, I used to busk on bourbon. One week, it was for, like, spring break or something, I busked on bourbon for, like, a week, and I made $900 in 7 days just sitting on the street playing my guitar. And that's how I bought my first computer and was able to like record myself in Logic and stuff, was just sitting out in the hot ass sun playing guitar. But it started by I would pull up and I would open my guitar case and I would take $2 out of my pocket and I'd put it in there. So people were like, oh, I guess he already started making money. We should give her some money. So just be your biggest like fan at the end of the day, or at least your biggest MVP.
Hell yeah.
Because if people are doing more work than you, then it doesn't make sense. It's not gonna work.
Right.
Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, Kaylan Arnold on set today. Golly. Truly an episode for the books. I mean, we got stories upon stories upon stories. I mean, you being out in the street with a guitar case, I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. You know, I got to give credit where credit is due.
Appreciate that.
Phenomenal. God bless you. And really, I wish you the absolute best in your journey to the absolute top. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm talking about. Every Thursday at midnight, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You go on YouTube, you hit that subscribe, you go on Apple Podcasts, you go on Deezer, you go on iHeartRadio. You go on all that good stuff. I mean, we're on Pandora right now. Like, bro, you'll find us on damn cassette right now. You don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Kaylan, do you have any shout outs, any shout outs that you want to give, any last words before we wrap up?
I would say shout out Barry McQueen. He's the best PR in the entire music industry. No cap. I'd say shout out Nico Giraldo. He is my videographer and creative director / manager. Don't tell him because he don't know, but he's doing a lot of management duties right now. And I would say, yeah, just like people that believe in me, because I'm going to make them proud, especially my parents and my family and stuff.
God, where can they follow you? Where can they follow your journey? You know, if they want to listen to those angelic-like vocals,
For sure.
Where is it that they can find it?
So my Instagram is Kaylan.Arnold, Arnold like football head Arnold, KaylanArnold. My Twitter is Who Is Kaylan. Nothing but good jokes on there, really. So if you want to listen to the music, you can search Hydrate, or you can just Google me, honestly, and you could just find the album there.
Hell yeah.
And stream it in order. Don't skip. Don't jump around.
Yeah.
Just
There's an arc, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. There's an arc. You know what I'm saying? Stream it 24/7. Stream it when you go to sleep. Lower the volume a little bit. Go to sleep. Get those streams up.
Of
you know
course.
what I'm saying?
What you know
Get
about
it going.
that?
Oh, I know. I know a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But ladies and gentlemen, every Thursday at midnight, Kaylan, thank you again so much for dropping on by today. Oh, It was definitely an episode for the books. Every Thursday at midnight. You know what it is. Holla.
You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami, where you can push it to the